When we get to X63, I'm probably going to try and get there a little bit ahead of everybody because I'm going to go east to Vieques Island. I've
Okay.
got fond memories of that place.
Oh, maybe we should all go over there and have a look.
Well, it was a major training place between British and American forces.
Oh, okay.
And once you get over a certain point, there's a lot of jungle there and a lot of mountain and hills and things like that. So we used to go over there and do some training. There's a lot of live firing over there as well.
I think X63 is the full stop anyway.
Right, okay.
So you can scoot on over while the rest of us have a coffee break.
Yeah.
What about my coffee break? That's very selfish.
Didn't know you drunk coffee.
I don't. I'll drink to that.
Right, I have started the live stream, just so everybody knows. So anyone else that's watching in on YouTube knows that we're flying and can come and join us, and works as an advert essentially. Get my airplane working. Batteries, alternator.
Grass looks greener here than it does in England.
Always looks greener on the other side.
Right. Engine. Oh, I'll put some fuel in.
Gentlemen, a quick question here. I'm in flight conditions.
Yep.
And on the top toolbar, I've got a icon with a single person, an icon with a double person, and the double person icon is grayed out. Is that where I select multiplayer?
Um,
I'm wondering if I'm in multiplayer already from last week.
in flight conditions, there should just be a huge icon saying all players.
Yeah, you should have a choice of 3. There's all players, live players, I think, and then off/group.
I don't think I'm looking at the correct place. I'm in the conditions where I set flight conditions, weather. I'm looking at the page. I look at the Puerto Rican island, and I'm looking at the world map.
Yeah, so on the map screen, the top right icon takes you to the flight conditions.
Okay. I think I'm already in multiplayer, so I'm just going to click fly.
Yep. So then you just need to be on the right server. So you get to that when you're in the flight. You can do that.
Okay, I've switched to Southeast Asia server already.
There you go. So it should be fine.
Booting up.
Mark, I don't see you. Where are you?
Right in front of you.
Well, I can see both of you with the choppers out.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Good evening, Pat.
Hello. I've got some weird, I think it's Ellis in a caravan. I don't know what livery you've got, Ellis, but you're pink checkered.
Ooh, here comes the big jet.
I had that in mind for a while, the pink checkered. I had to actually change the plane, get rid of it and reload it. It's a glitch on the colours.
Yeah, so I'm guessing whatever livery he has, I'm seeing it as something that I obviously can't see because I haven't got it. But it's glitching to that pink checker. Very fetching.
We've got
Does it not stand out?
we've got a greetings from Denmark in the live stream chat. So
Hello, Denmark.
it's going to be like Eurovision, isn't it?
One of my,
You beat
one of my,
us to it. I was going to say 0 point.
one of my
Hello.
favourite footballers come from Denmark.
2 points.
Hello, Denmark from Sweden.
Sweden, 12 points. Sweden, 2 points.
PR27.
Uruguay, 0 points.
TJPS. We're easily amused, aren't we?
What too many
We
tablets
we
to
don't
do.
have to win it to host it.
PR20.
Whoever's here at Holding Point Alpha with me, you can go onto the runway. If you don't, I
Me,
will.
with the mention of Danish, I thinking of bacon now. Bacon sandwich.
Is it still a thing, Danish bacon? Or are they just not advertise it anymore?
Danish.
It's like apparently all the lamb you buy in the shops is supposed to be Welsh, but I can assure you it's transported from Cornwall to Wales and sold as Welsh lamb.
Is it killed in Wales?
Might be.
That makes it Welsh then. But Welsh death certificate.
And on that happy note,
So it's just coming up to the hour, so I'm going to go and get in the air.
I've invested Pat in the 737.
Oh, you have? Well done.
Everybody's been too polite at the holding point. Come
Yeah,
on,
I'm going
let's move on. Don't bother waiting. Drive through everybody.
Did you buy the 6 or the 7, Joe?
7.
I've decided that it's far superior to the Phoenix 320.
Yeah. It's just, I'm a bit frustrated with it at the moment, but I'll get sorted.
You will. Now, there's some things that happen with the Phoenix 320 that I don't like. I've been doing what's it called? Join FS recorder and the A320. The gear keeps going up and down. When you're flying that, you see every other aircraft with the gear down. So it's causing glitches.
Yeah, we'll have to have a chat
I will.
at some point.
So how far is tonight's route? Let's have a quick look. 180 miles, so it's going to be 150 knot cruising speed to get around 180 in the time.
Understood?
Fire.
Okay, I'll do my talky bit. I always forget to do this. So welcome to VirtualFlight.Online for anybody that's not flown with us before. We do this every Sunday night. The only real rule, if you're on the voice chat, is to keep things family friendly, so no contentious subjects or anything that would offend anybody really. Other than that, have fun, try and follow the route and try and stay together. It's a group flight, so if you end up 50 miles ahead, that's not really a group, is it? Other than that,
And yes, don't forget to turn your lights on
yeah, nav lights.
and load transmitter.
Yes, transmitter, and that goes for me as well. I've forgotten. We
That's
will be
the most
stop-
polite way I could mention it. Really.
we will be stopping at the halfway, which tonight is Humacao. I hope that's how you pronounce it. X63. We'll stop there for 5 or 10 minutes for people to go make teas or coffees or whatever they want to do. Fill their glass up. So first leg we are departing from Eugenio Maria de Hostos, flying to Labadie. The route is 34 degrees. 34 degrees magnetics. Is it 12.7 miles. There's too many airplanes on the map, I can't see the map. Who's in the helicopter this evening then?
I know I am, and I think Jim is.
Oh, I've got some DX12 on.
Is it working okay?
Well, it seems to be. I get the odd helicopter in the way. I get the odd stutter, momentary stutter. Whether that's DX12 or not, I don't know. But it looks beautiful.
Well, for anybody that's new, all airfields until the halfway point are touch and goes. We only stop at the halfway point and at the end.
There's a few aircraft here tonight that will have difficulty even doing touch and goes, some of those strip jumps.
Yeah, I should warn everybody, you might want to have a look at some of the airfields, particularly on the second half of the route, before you even attempt to go into them. We scouted the route out earlier in the week, and yeah, I think I made a note in the flight notes that some of them are kind of a laugh, and kind of laugh at the airfield as you fly over.
Sounds like our kind of airfield joke.
Certainly does.
It's not that so much they're short, it's that there are tall trees around them.
The trees are no factor.
As long as I want some pine in the middle of the room.
Yeah, Labadie's got trees at the west end, but the east end looks fine.
I'm going to change the time so I get to see nav lights in the distance. If I make it evening. Should be good, shouldn't it?
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
There is good evening in the evening.
Sorry, what bearing are we flying on?
Sorry?
Which bearing?
34.
Yeah, 34 degrees-ish. It's about 12, 13 miles to the next airfield, which is Labadie, PR05, Papa Romeo 05. Just up on the coast. And then it's easy from then on, because we basically fly along the island east. Thankfully the weather has cleared up since we did it the other evening, because there were torrential rainstorms this end of the island.
Looking for some of them in the UK. case.
Exactly.
Those of you that have flown with us before, if you do get to an airfield ahead of the main pack, it always pays to do a couple of circuits, then you get to watch everybody else's attempts, which is always good fun. And it puts all the pressure on the last people in.
I've just discovered that trying to upload a YouTube video at the same time as playing Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't work.
It doesn't take your bandwidth.
Yeah, it did. I just had to turn off the upload. It just wasn't happening.
This is my first flight with you guys. Hello. It's the first flight in the RV14 for me as well.
It's good fun. I'm using it tonight.
Yeah, how do you like it?
Nice, nice. Actually, I was watching the gentleman on YouTube yesterday, so he inspired me to go out and buy it.
Anybody had any trouble installing it?
No.
Well, I had no trouble installing it, but some of the functions don't work, and I don't know why.
If it was Jonathan on the video that you saw, he's on commission, you know.
I wish.
It was.
Won't load for me at all.
I think it was only about £13, so he's going to have to sell a lot of them.
It's all profit. What are you flying this evening, Pat?
Bit higher.
Oh, right, okay. With or without water?
With.
I should hope so.
Okay, so after this airfield, we head east to Antonio. Antonio Neri. I'm not going to try to pronounce the full name, but so just follow the coast basically for the next 22 miles.
The tree's absolutely slap bang in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah, the trees are great. You wait till you see the later airfields.
Well, Dave, you've got that program, haven't you, that makes them shorter?
Yeah.
Does
Well,
it
the
work?
chainsaw program.
They're 75% of the normal size.
Set this to morning, see if it looks much different.
I want a program that just removes them off the runways or from the middle of the runway.
Bought the one for the UK, but it's crap. Or changes all the trees.
Does anybody remember Lumberjack for FSX back in the day?
I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
Yeah, we need something similar.
Yeah, well, I had that program. We worked all day and we worked all night.
You're okay.
Exactly.
It's just the women's clothing, Joe. You can't get out of that, can you?
Well, that's right, yeah. Can't say things like that anymore. You're bullying me.
Set your time to early in the morning with the sun coming up. It illuminates all this mist over the trees. It looks quite spooky.
And then we'd be flying into it, wouldn't we?
You following the road, Pat?
Yeah. I'm just looking and thinking the road looks better than normal. So on DX12, or is it my imagination?
No, I think it's the drink.
Yeah.
I'll drink to that.
You know why Guinness use that bird as their symbol?
Toucan?
Yeah.
No idea.
Their slogan was Guinness is good for you. So if somebody came up with if Guinness is good for you, just think what toucan do.
Just need to close the door.
I'd rather have 3.
What are you in, Joe?
747, 737 rather.
73.
Good luck.
Yeah, I need to spend some time in it.
Are you on who's your what's it?
Who's your what's it?
Transmitter.
What did he?
Not see it on the map.
I was behind you.
There's a lot of people on tonight.
Look at my call sign NCC 1701.
That's a good one.
Isn't that a Star Trek book then?
Well done, that man.
We just finished watching the second season of Picard at home.
That's not Star Trek.
Agreed.
That's up to date.
Of the Starship Booby Prize. wait, Enterprise, I'm sorry.
Has anyone tried watching The Orville?
I watched about 2 episodes and then almost set fire to the television.
I literally just watched the first episode of it today and I thoroughly enjoyed it, so no spoilers, please.
Oh, okay.
What one?
The Orville.
Well, funny thing, Jonathan, I had the same reaction. I sat through 2 episodes and thought, this is dumb, and went back to it, and I'm just laughing my butt off now. It's very funny.
It is funny.
Well, maybe I need to give it a second chance then.
Is
Don't
it
take it too
intentionally
serious.
so? Is it intentionally so?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Okay.
It's surprisingly topical also.
Is there any way you can vary the tag information in my little nav map for the aircraft?
You can. In the tools, options, map display 2, AI aircraft on the tree, and you can switch on and off the attributes.
Ooh. Let me get there.
You are indeed a 737.
I am. Paused at the moment.
There's quite a lot of people on this map. I'll take some screenshots just of this map. It's quite amusing. I want to be a controller seeing that many aircraft.
It's okay. Send them round and round.
Yeah. Stand up and you're going to take your seat with you.
So, going into runway 08, I'm guessing, looking at the wind.
Concur.
You've got some quite tall radio masts around here.
Rain.
Yeah, there's a few clouds dotted around, aren't there?
I've just installed F1 2021 on my new PC.
Oh yeah?
Absolutely stunning.
It's good fun, isn't it?
But it's especially good fun now because there's no lag in it. It just flows. But rain made me think of it. I did Monaco qualifying in the rain. The effects are absolutely superb. Oh, I read the other day that not this heat wave, but the previous heat wave was caused by aeroplanes with their contrails, or rather chemtrails, because they were deliberately putting chemicals into the sky that stopped the heat escaping.
I thought the cows farting was the problem.
No, it's burping. It's the burping, not the farting.
Actually, it's a mixture of both.
All of them.
Ugh, that and bad breath, yeah.
Well, what you should do then is get some to light the farts.
Or burn them off.
Yeah.
Now, when I was talking earlier on about going over to visit Vieques, when we finished our exercises, we all ended up on a beach. And all of the participants, let's put it that way, had to do something. One of them was the dance of the flaming a-holes.
Oh.
Where you had a rolled up paper stuck between your legs, lit at both ends, and it was to see who could stand the longest before he asked everyone to throw their beer on him.
And I'd go, no, I'm not wasting my beer, thanks.
Yeah, there were a few like that, and that's when you find out how much bottle you've got. Excuse the pun.
The RAF used to put up some nasty things as well, didn't they?
They weren't nasty, they were fun.
No,
that was just hijinks.
Spent 3 weeks in a jungle, you know, you need a little bit of R&R.
What, and bullying?
That's not bullying. It's fun. It's a sing-along. It's like a Boy Scout camp jamboree.
Challenge one low approach.
He's doing about 300 knots.
Yeah, but I'm only at was only at 20 feet.
Did you touch down? You meant to touch down.
Oh, whoops. No, I said low approach.
Quite impressive.
Be more impressive if I got the gear down in time. No, I need to calibrate my throttle for the 737 because at the moment I'm getting reverse thrust halfway back to idle.
Oh. See, I don't get it on the 737. I get it on the fly-by-wire and the Phoenix Airbuses, which is a pain in the neck.
Well done, that man, for doing a touch and go before and after another aircraft on the runway.
My father's doing nearly a full stop.
I know, I just thought it was quite daring. I could see what he was going to do before he did the first part, and I thought, whoa!
Glad I was looking behind me.
Yeah, it's a good job these haven't got rear view mirrors, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I do have 143 witnesses this evening.
Right, to the next airfield.
Already been to the next airfield. I'm on my way back.
Fernando Luis Ribas.
Goes all at sea.
Oh, nice, a water approach.
Mm.
At least it won't get any trees this time.
Yeah, San Juan. I was amazed when I scouted this out the other day. I've never looked at San Juan before. It's a huge city.
There's actually two parts to it. There's Old San Juan, which is on the island, and the New San Juan, which is very American.
It's an American protectorate, isn't it? I think.
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
So you clear US customs.
Yep. The states no passport required. Oh, a Commonwealth. That's what it is, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico.
Kentucky's still a Commonwealth.
Yes, as is Massachusetts and Virginia.
I'm a Kentucky colonel. A red certificate says Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Wicked man.
Yeah, speaking of Kentucky colonels, you suddenly got me hungry.
In America, if you're certainly the ones I went to, if you buy a KFC, you get mashed potato, gravy, and biscuits with it.
I've never bought KFC in my life.
Yeah.
Have any of you seen the movie about the founding of McDonald's? It's called The Founder.
Yeah.
That was amazing, wasn't it? Where they were trying to tighten up on the franchises to make them all cook the same stuff as each other. Because they had a few of them in the south of the US that had gone rogue and were doing their own thing. Fascinating movie.
It's very good.
I have a friend who had a sandwich franchise in Williamsburg. He had to buy his meat from a certain supplier, and this guy had the market cornered. All of these franchises had to buy their meat from the same place, and just kept jacking the price up.
You mentioned KFC. In Japan, they use KFC for Christmas dinner. It's so popular, you have to make your order in advance.
Oh, really?
So when we visited our friends in California and said we wanted a KFC, they said, no, that's only for poor people.
Well, if it's my turn to cook, it's for lazy people. Well, it's moderately inexpensive.
It's
the
just
debate
like
Go ahead.
just like the UK, snobbery everywhere.
And the debate rages on within our family: regular, original recipe, or extra crispy.
Multiplayer servers are having some fun tonight. There's an aircraft just off my wing that's shooting backwards and forwards by 40 or 50 yards at a time. If I didn't know better, I'd say that aliens were in control of it.
Is anyone else having problems with their graphics tonight?
No.
No. Maybe your internet.
My frame rate's a bit low, but it's not dead.
You flying the helicopter, Mark?
Yes.
What are your graphics doing, Jim?
It's mainly the trees. They look horrible, just spotty and vibrating.
Hasn't changed your screen resolution on the fly, has it?
No, I don't think so. It shouldn't have.
It's not your rotors making the leaves quiver.
Yeah, I'm going to fall for that one, Patrick. Yeah.
You're not
if you've got
through the jet turbine output. There's a rear view.
Yeah, looking through the exhaust will do that.
Yeah.
I was reading the blurb on that. Is it whichever helicopter it is? I can't remember. One of the helicopters, they've done something with the particles, so it creates better dust and better wake turbulence.
Yeah, they just added that to the Bell 47. When you get close to the ground, it kicks up a ton of dust. You really lose visibility.
That's not what you're in, though, is it?
No.
When I read that, I thought, I wonder if that affects the graphics at all.
I think I'll have to have a play around with it tomorrow. Something not right.
Quick one, Pat. There's no throttle calibration in the PMGT setup, is there?
Oh shit! Sorry, I flew into a pylon.
No, it'll probably come with the EFB.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't know if the 800 is going to have an EFB that works with all of them. I'm sure that's what I was.
Well, they're all the same aeroplanes, so any updates any of them get, the others get as well.
Yeah. Apologies for the language, it took me completely by surprise.
Nothing offensive about pylon.
Didn't even see it. I think there were some choice words at Stamford Bridge this afternoon, or this evening.
What was that all about? I only caught a glimpse of it on the news, but
It was Tuchel thought when Spurs scored their first goal, Tuchel thought it should have been called back for a foul. Well, the foul had happened minutes before, and it wasn't picked up. It was a foul, but it wasn't picked up by the referee. He said play on.
But he just wouldn't let go of Conte's hand, would he?
No, that was the last thing. That was at the end. But they got yellow cards before because Tuchel went marching across into the Spurs dugout. He was more in the wrong, and of course Conte, being Italian, responded. Then at the end, Conte put out his hand, and Tuchel grabbed it and carried on walking and spun him around.
Yeah, that's the bit I saw.
Which is just babies.
Oh well,
paid too much.
They'll cover it on Match of the Day. I'll be watching that.
Apparently, Jamie Redknapp and who's the Man United defender that works as a pundit these days as well.
You mean Micah Richards, the Man City guy?
There was a very public disagreement between two of the pundits. It was covered in the press. I saw it earlier today, read the transcript of them basically having a go at each other, claiming who knew more about football.
Really? Oh, is it Micah Richards or Gary Neville?
It was Gary Neville, that was it.
Yeah, so you were right. But I know that Michael Richards has recently become a pundit.
Yeah, it
Well,
was
Gary-
Redknapp and Jamie Redknapp and Gary Neville. One of them basically was blaming the owners of Man United for not showing any interest in the club and not turning up to sort out their problems, and the other one was blaming the team.
Well, I'd say it's the team. Can't blame the manager yet because he's not been there long enough.
It's always the other guy's fault, isn't it?
Exactly.
But the team are a bunch of
Steady on pass.
overpaid prima donnas, and they all think
That's
it's
the
going to
entire
revolve
Premiership,
around
isn't
them.
it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I watched some videos on TV of fouls, which the actual player rolling around in agony wasn't even touched in the playback.
There's compilations of them on YouTube. They're quite entertaining to watch.
Ronaldo got fouled yesterday, and he rolled over about 15 times.
I've seen ones of him as well.
I don't understand why they can't have a yellow after the match for it.
They should have a red card and be sent off.
Of course they should.
They do in hockey for embellishment.
It was interesting during the women's Euros. Any dissent at all to the referee was an instant yellow card. They don't appear to have implemented that then across all forms of football.
No, they should. On dissent should be a yellow card.
Just instantly, any kind of any talk back. The other thing that it's such a simple thing they could do is only the captain is allowed to talk to the ref.
Yeah.
Because
Well, that's
rugby
why the
does
ref
it.
will normally, yeah, exactly. The ref will normally call the captains and say,
Yeah.
calm the team down. So it should work the other way. I mean, you look at how many times the ref gets surrounded by screaming.
Exactly. Racing ahead to do a circle of the airfield, watching people coming in. San Juan looks amazing in the sun. Morning sun.
Yeah, we'll have to get a proper little radar client, I think, because you can't make out two.
Are you suggesting I should write the other half of transmitter?
Well, when you're doing them.
I've been thinking about it. About how to do it. The trouble is you end up writing a full-blown radar
Well, actually,
plan.
all you need to do is remove the label and change the aircraft icon into a dot instead of a graphic aircraft.
Yeah. So what I did think was a better way to do it would be to look at radar software, real radar software, and get transmitter to copy the format of the real data. So you can use it with the real radar program.
Yep,
Oh,
that'd
yeah.
be
Good moment.
interesting. And make the airplanes into little stick figures.
Yep. With trails. And have sectors and all the rest of it, and suddenly it's a huge project. So yeah, it'd be better if I got it to ape the data that could go into something like Euroscope, then you could just use Euroscope.
Yeah, what's your favourite, Pat?
Sorry, Joe, say again?
What's your favourite radar?
My favourite radar?
App, yeah.
I don't use one. Don't use one.
Well, I'm going to say this.
Right,
Little
okay.
navmap.
Well, little navmap with transmitter, I think is actually superb.
It kind
I
of
want something that works in VR.
Yeah, little navmap fails at scale though, doesn't it? It gets too jumbled.
I can't use it in VR at all anymore. The plugin stopped working for me. It doesn't work in 2D either.
I think you should try and reinstall.
Yeah, I think I have a couple times.
I can't see the runway. There's that many aircraft in front of me, so F12 and you can all go away.
Hang on, I should be able to scatter them.
I can see it now.
Yeah, blow them away, Joe, with your two CFMs. No, is that right? CFMs?
Oh, I don't know.
CFMs are girls' shoes, aren't they?
Yeah, I think I'll blow the tyres doing a touch and go at 260 knots.
I just did it with skids.
500. Decide slipping in to kill a load of speed as per usual.
Oh, they should be alright. 220 knots.
The clouds building up.
Oh no. Get rid of the spoilers. Who left his auto brake on? Trying to clear the runway. Come on, get off the brakes.
Where is the full stop landing at?
The next airfield, which is Humacao.
Thank you.
Have you had problems with sticky brakes, Pat?
No, that's happens.
Are you thinking in terms of the parking brake, or just the wheel brake, the foot brakes? Because they are connected. I don't know if you knew.
Yes. So if I use get rid of the handbrake, the parking brake, you've got to use your foot brake.
Yeah, you have to have pressure on the foot brakes to apply the parking brake now.
Yeah. You know, things like doing a touch and go, the spoilers popped, but I put the spoilers away, but the brakes stayed on, and I didn't have auto brake selected.
So 152 degrees, 26 miles over to Humacao for the full stop rest before we go into the hills, and it all gets a bit silly.
So your spoilers should come out.
Yeah, but I manually put them away because I was doing a touch and go. I put and the brakes, even though I didn't have auto brake on, the brakes came on.
Because I never use auto brake. I can't say I've ever had the brakes come on.
Yeah. There will be something in the manual, I'm sure.
There'll be something on Google. Or the PMDG forum.
When you say the auto brakes were off, what exactly were they set to?
They weren't enabled.
Oh, someone's just had a lovely crash at the end of the runway.
That was a cartwheel.
And beauty.
There's always somebody's rat on you, isn't there?
Yeah, that's when slew mode comes in handy, isn't it?
Yeah, where would we be without it?
I would suggest 1,500 feet for this leg.
Just to skip the hills.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're flying a straight line to Humacao.
Straight line? What's this straight line business?
So David, have you got a Y button in your Robin?
A what, sorry?
A Y button in your Robin?
Oh, no, that would be useful, yeah.
Have you ever come close to needing one?
No, strangely enough. No.
I guess in a real aircraft, though, if your approach isn't looking right, you'll go around instead of just trying to make it work.
Oh, absolutely. It's either right or it's not. And if it's not right, you go around.
Gives a new meaning to the word Air Force.
Yeah.
I watched a 777 do a go around the other day. It was quite impressive.
It's amazing how powerful the engines are on those big jets if they need to use them, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I can remember years ago when we were allowed on the flight deck I was on a 747 from LA to Heathrow, and we were coming into approach, and there was a 757 ahead, and I said, "How long do you leave it before you go around?" And he said, "Well, if he's not cleared by the time we're 50 feet off the ground, we'll go around." And he was still on the runway when we touched down.
Of course, you would normally be instructed to go around by ATC. It's something they would tell you to do usually.
Is that more common than the captain decided to go around?
Yeah, I mean, the captain will only decide to go around if there's a problem with the approach, whereas if there's an aircraft on the runway, then ATC will say runway active on, they'd go around.
Unless you're landing at Oshkosh.
Yeah.
But usually you're already given kind of your expected air clearance. You know, if there's anybody going to be there, unless they've just turned up unplanned.
Yeah, but it's, one of the rules is that you can't instruct someone, or you can't clear someone to land if the runway is already occupied. So if there's another aircraft on the runway, you have to say to the following one, go around.
Well, you can get them to continue. If the other guy's going to roll, you can continue the approach. Expect leg clearance.
Oh yeah, I mean, if there's one taking off and he's obviously going to be away, yes. But if you're following another landing aircraft and the aircraft in front of you hasn't cleared the runway, then
definitely. That before at Newcastle was a guy on a 8-mile final, and the guy was complete the takeoff, but he was sitting in at the hold, faffing on with his engines.
I saw one at Gatwick, and the AN225, the big one.
Yeah.
That was cleared to take off, and the Dan Air 727, that's how long ago it was, cleared to land.
Desperate Dan Air.
Or told to continue his approach. Wasn't actually given clearance to land.
Hey, Jonathan, are there any rules controlling the Cowboys?
How do you mean?
I just got buzzed by a Spitfire.
No, as long as they don't do too much harm, they can't hit anybody.
Join the
Shoot
club
at you.
every day.
Did he shoot at you?
Well, you can't in this game, so all you can do is laugh at them.
Yeah, that's right. He went past at a great rate of knots anyway.
Yeah, just wave at him and say, "You got no bullets."
He's firing blanks.
You sure it wasn't Joe in his 747 or whatever it was?
Oh, it
was
looked
me.
like a Spitfire.
It was me and my Spitfire.
Yeah. Put his hand up, see?
I know we always say this on these flights, but this scenery is amazing, isn't it?
I'm just looking at the different shades of green,
Yeah.
and it's almost like mossy stuff on the top. It could be.
Well, some guys use fertilizer, others don't. Maybe that's why.
Is that the posh name for
The Jim just took me out then, or tried to.
I don't think so. I'm not flying the Spit. I'm in the helicopter.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, that was Jason, I think. I don't know. I saw his tail.
So who's got shares in the Undertakers then?
So I've just gone live to stream it. Just have a look at that and look at the state of my scenery.
Discord. It's difficult to tell on the streamed image. You may have some bandwidth issues going on there, Jim.
Well, I haven't touched anything from previous flights and so on.
Yeah.
It's just a mess.
Maybe it's just bandwidth then. Or a reboot.
Yeah.
You never can tell, can you?
Or if you turn off the rolling cache it'll re-download the photogrammetry.
I always have that off anyway.
My screen's up. I don't know if there's any difference.
Right, we're getting close to the airfield, aren't we? I'm going to circle the airfield, watching everybody come in.
Brakes didn't work on that landing.
See, like Hugh staying ahead, so I don't have to see his landing. It's crafty.
The landing wasn't too bad, but I exited the runway because the brakes didn't work at all.
My left wing, and I haven't seen it.
I have great difficulty in finding these runways.
Ah, found it. It's next to the river, if anybody wants
Oh,
to know.
yeah, there it is. Yep, I got it.
Doing
Get
the
some
brightness down.
flaps down.
So yeah, it's a runway 10 favoured because of the wind.
This is stop and go. Full stop.
This is full stop for a few minutes, yeah. So everybody can go stretch their legs, make a coffee.
Okay, I'm going over to have a look at Vieques if anybody wants to follow me.
I'm going to watch these guys land first, and then I'll shoot over and have a look.
I missed what the acres are, Jim.
Vieques, part of the British Virgin Islands. It's the island of Vieques, just to the west of where we are. And we used to do a lot of military training over there. Half the island is given over to military ranges. Used to do exercises there with the US Marine Corps. Particularly sort of jungle type warfare.
Right, they're setting fire to your backsides.
Yeah.
A common problem in the jungle, I understand.
Or singing a song very rude with a pint of beer on your head without spilling it. All sorts of things.
All those silly games.
Regular little jamboree. Yeah. But the Americans always supplied the steak and the beer.
Their beer was always two-stroke, though.
I've heard it described a lot, but not like that before.
I know when I was up in Thailand there, we operated with the Americans and they did a deal with... they fed us and the Kiwis had to build the bar and keep it stocked.
Sounds
which
like
we did.
a deal.
They used to fly an old freighter full of Tiger and Sam McGill up from Singapore every week because the only beer the Americans could get was, you know, all their stuff.
Yes, sex in a canoe. Very close to water.
Yeah. We did a roaring trade.
I suppose Guinness and Newcastle Brown Ale was out of it, though.
It certainly was.
But how did Newky Brown ever come to be a thing? Because it is disgusting.
It ain't. It's one of the best beers in the world.
I'll give over.
Apart from Yorkshire breweries.
Everybody likes whatever they grew up drinking, basically.
We grew up drinking anything.
Yeah, well, yeah,
the only one I couldn't ever drink was Oxfordshire Moorlands and Morals. It was bloody horrible.
It's the only difference between regional beers is the water.
No, and the way they brew it.
All beers brew the same.
I've got to take issue with you, Jonathan.
No, I'm being flippant.
I grew up on beer and I hate the stuff.
Yeah.
I literally came of age in the middle of the craft beer revolution over on the west coast of the U.S. And man, they were doing some weird but good
Do you
stuff.
drink wine all the time, Jim?
I do, yes. All the time.
What's your
Carry on with the story about the craft beer.
Yeah.
Yes, I live literally halfway between San Francisco, which brews Anchor Steam, and the brewery for Sierra Nevada, which is in Chico, California. And we were getting the best of both worlds, and everybody was hopping on the craft brew bandwagon, trying their hand at it. And loads better than the mass marketed domestic stuff, let me tell you.
Yeah, so I remember 1975. Craft beer was a big thing then.
I'll tell you another best beer I've ever drunk was a Banbury brew, Hunt Edmonds. It was the first beer I could ever drink a straight pint without mixing it with light ale.
Why would you mix light ale with anything?
Half and half.
So did you have Newcastle Brown Black and Tans then?
No, he drunk that neat. Didn't mess about with that. I used to have the odd double diamond in between.
No.
Yeah, I used to go to the bar and the Spotlight Club at RAF Bryce Norton and order 2 pints of double diamond and 2 pints of Newcastle Brown. And they were just for me. And then
What year are we talking about, Dave?
Probably about 1968 to 1970-ish.
No, but real ale was coming in then.
Yeah, they were real ales. What are you on about?
It's egg crap. Sorry.
No, they were bottled. That was all bottled stuff.
Here comes the 737.
Yep.
Running out the runway.
We're going to be digging him out of the dirt in a few minutes.
He looked like he was going to run off the end, didn't he, Jonathan?
He did. I'm going to send somebody down there with a chainsaw.
So this is the Puerto Rican version of Oshkosh we've got going down here in the parking lot.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be enough room for us all.
I'm just taxiing past. The frame rate is getting absolutely hammered.
Few on the grass. A couple of helicopters.
Plenty of room in the acres.
I'm surprised how neat everybody did park.
Yeah, they're really good, aren't they?
Oh, one or two are disappearing.
Of course, we've got the helicopter sat over there that he's able to land anywhere. So.
Hey, we're all in now, but I can still see a couple coming.
Yep. Right, I'm going to put my parking brake on and go and make a coffee quickly before we get going again.
Yeah, Niner Whiskey Delta, 1 mile final, runway 10.
I'm on Tin Foster's tonight.
You really do make yourself suffer.
With a ton of ice in the glass.
Mr. Smirnoff is my co-pilot.
Need some muscles in there.
That is amusing, seeing the big jet coming in.
Where's he going to park, for Pete's sake?
Top of everybody else.
Run over the top of us all, eh?
He's just going to put the can
Big,
pusher on
big
front
brother.
wheel.
Anywhere he wants to is the...
Someone needs to cut this grass.
Need to cut the bloody trees.
Greg, is that you in an Air Canada aircraft?
A little bit of power back.
Poncho Villa.
So
Look at that, he's reversing up.
Someone in the live stream has said, what needs Red Label is their beer of choice?
No. What needs Red Barrel?
And when's he getting a telegram from the Queen?
Another one has said Newcastle Brown Ale is gorgeous. Isn't it
it's
Newcastle
good.
Brown that they nicknamed Bottled Insanity?
Yeah, I could believe that.
I think it was my father-in-law used to call it that, and he was from that part of the world, so...
It's good, but it's not as good as Guinness.
Well, I have a Guinness right now in front of me, which is quite nice.
Of course, there's Guinness and there's Guinness, isn't there? Cause
Yeah, I'll only drink draft.
Well, if you mention both, that puts me in the mood for black and tan.
The black and tan should be Mackerson and Pale Ale.
Yeah.
We do what we can with what we have where we are.
Well, Vieques hasn't changed very much.
look on the map to see where Jim is.
We used to try and drink poor man's Black Velvet, which was Guinness and cider instead of Guinness and champagne.
What was snake bite?
Lager and cider. It congeals and turns into jelly in the jar, in the glass. That's why it's dangerous, because then it stays in that form in your gut, so it keeps you drunk for a long time.
Intended result achieved.
There we go. My wings are clear.
Line it up and you have napalm for a bar fight.
I think I don't know if it's just an urban myth, but I think that it's actually illegal to make snake bite anymore.
I seem to remember that.
They haven't got the antidote.
Well, you used to serve it in the pub. Somebody asked for snake bite.
I can't believe the people that still mess around with putting Mentos or Polo Mints in fizzy drinks. That is such a dangerous thing to do. I mean, okay, it's fun to film it. When you get people dicking about with putting the Polo Mint in their mouth and then pouring fizzy drink in, that's a hospital job straight away. And the kids do it though to get, hits on YouTube or whatever, don't they? Or TikTok. It's like people who set fireworks off holding them in their teeth, and you think, goodbye teeth.
Eyebrows, nose.
Yeah.
Natural selection in full effect, isn't it?
It is really.
Hey Joe, next time we do an IFR flight, are you going to bring a little Cessna to it?
That's an idea. Actually, I'm going to rejoin my air pass VP to Smithton.
That's absolutely fine. Start again on September the 1st. Oh, better get something done.
Just need to modern my Cessna a bit.
I wonder if we could fly over the Nazca lines.
That would be good fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
And we'll put a payware link on it for the Eric von Daniken's book.
Perfect.
And sell tinfoil as well to make hats.
I've got two caravans with pink checker livery.
There was another book, a bit like Eric von Daniken's book that came out called The Bible Code by a guy called Michael Droslin. And it was brilliant, in a way. All he argued was if you take the text of the Bible and do it and reformat it for different page widths, and then you can find words crisscrossing each other in the text that tell the future. So you get Kennedy, death, and things like that, all and the year number near to each other in the text. What he didn't tell anybody is if you use any big enough book, it also works.
I remember seeing a documentary about that. It was fascinating. That's cool.
Yeah, you use any large enough body of text, it will work.
Wow.
It's a bit like the whole Shakespeare with monkeys and typewriters thing, isn't it?
I was just going to say that.
Right.
circling the airfield, waiting for everybody to get back.
Yeah, it's interesting in a nighttime view. If you check my live stream, you can see all the lights on the wheel.
Someone's asking me in the live stream, been waiting all day for this flight. Some of the chat has been funny, been watching since the beginning. How did I get the AI person in my cockpit? Well, most of the planes, if you have the weight of a co-pilot in the configuration, makes a person appear in the passenger seat. Certainly on the third-party aircraft. I don't know about the Asobo aircraft. Don't have somebody else in the cockpit, do they?
Yeah, they do. It's something you could change from the main menu settings, I think.
Ah.
But you're right. The weight during flight, if you go up to the top of the screen and select the, I think it's called the fuel option.
Yeah, you can
set weights there.
Weight. It tends to be. It's not actually an official thing, is it? It's just that they seem to have done it. Because I say that, and now I can't do it.
And some third-party aircraft will have it as an option in whatever tablet or whatever you get with it.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not letting me change it now. The interface in Flight Sim for changing numbers is hilariously bad. There we go. It doesn't always take... To be able to zero a number out, it's quite tricky to put a number into a text box.
Where are you doing this, Jonathan?
In the fuel setting. So you know,
right.
When you go into the icon of the weight on the toolbar.
Yeah.
In that panel that pops up in most aircraft that supports it, there's a weight of the pilot and the co-pilot. And typically, if you zero out the co-pilot, then they disappear. Which I've just done. So the girl that was sitting next to me is no longer sitting next to me.
She might not like you.
She doesn't now. I've made her vanish. Yeah, our kids weren't too impressed when we were wishing that there was a remote control that could just shut them up. Well, I can see a caravan doing 3D aerobatics over the airfield.
No.
It's a rumour. Scurrilous rumour.
Scurrilous.
I'm going to be patient and I will not jump the queue this time.
I just realised I haven't switched fuel tanks in. Ah, of course, I just went into fuel dialogue and it's magically refilled me.
Okay. Well, that's a trap, isn't it? If you don't check your fuel, all of a sudden you fall out of the...
Well, yeah, with this plane, though, you'll get lopsided because it's low wing. So you have to switch left and right fuel.
Oh, dear me. Intersection takeoff. Well done, chaps.
I got a clear runway, so I'm off. Here we go.
Yeah. Challenger 1, intersection takeoff.
Rotate.
That was early.
I'm doing one more orbit and then I'm going en route.
Yeah, I'm just going to have a look at the next leg. What's the map? 246 degrees, 15 miles to Patillas. And I think it might be one of the dangerous airfields.
I'm just watching Patrick and his Spitfires having a hell of a time trying to get up in the air.
Is it for some reason?
Yeah, Spitfire is interesting, isn't it? It's designed to kill people, but in the first few seconds of flight, it tries to kill its own pilot.
Yeah, it's without doubt the trickiest simulator plane that I've flown. It's very hard to get the thing off the ground. It really is.
I've never had this problem though.
I was watching a documentary with a US pilot talking about the Mustang, and he was saying with that they had to fly it by the numbers. There's no kind of wiggle room with it on takeoff or approach. You had to kind of, almost go through it like an exam exercise, because if you didn't, you'd drop a wing or destroy the engine.
Well, I suppose these high-speed aerofoils will stall easily, I suppose.
Yeah, until they get to like 200 knots, they're not really designed for it.
Come on, Patrick, you can do it. You can do it.
Does anyone know if you
better.
can use the World War II planes like the Spitfire and Vatsim? Do the radios compatible?
That's a good question. Right, I'm going to make a turn towards the next leg, which was 246 degrees.
Next airfield, Jonathan, you hover over it and it says the runway's hard, but it's closed.
Yep. Yeah, the next few airfields are interesting.
We're allowed to use them anyway, are we?
Oh, yes, I'm giving you executive authority to have a go at them.
Thank you.
Yeah, unlike a true game where when your wheels touch the runway, the game automatically shuts down.
Somebody on the live stream saying hello from Czechia. I'm presuming that's an Anglophile version of Chechnya. I'm not sure.
Czechia? That would be the Czech. Yeah, that would be the Czech Republic.
Oh, okay. It is amazing how flight simulation seems to bring all the different nationalities together, isn't it?
It is very cool for that.
We've got quite a lot in this group, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, I guess because we can fly anywhere in the world, there's always an interest wherever we are. Although, bizarrely, we haven't been across the eastern part of the European continent at all. We'll have to make some flights over there, I guess.
I've got one I put together in Montenegro, which was very interesting because I was there a couple of years ago, and it's quite stunning actually, the scenery.
Yep.
Very, very mountainous.
Oh yeah, I don't know if anybody saw the news article I put out. We found out what was stopping people from posting events. You have to enable two-factor authentication on your Discord account to be able to do it. It's kind of hardwired into Discord that you have to have that. So if you've got like Google Auth or Microsoft Auth on your phone or whatever the versions are on the Apple phones, yeah, you have to set up two-factor auth. So it's in the account details in Discord.
I'll just send
Yeah, I
it
saw
to
that,
you
Jonathan.
on-
I had a look. I haven't done it yet, but I will.
So, what were you saying, Jim?
I might leave it. I might leave it till I get home from the trip.
Yeah. What were you saying, Jim?
I'll just send it to you.
I've just lost everybody in the sim, but they still exist in little nav map.
Yeah, they'll load back in. That just means the servers are having a bad day.
It's that time, isn't it? It seems to happen halfway through.
And the run up to an update, for some reason, the sim becomes unstable. So when is it due? Is it end of this month?
Yeah.
23rd, I think it is.
What are they doing? Anyone know?
Sim update 10.
There's quite a lot of changes.
Oh,
One of the biggest is a performance-related one called DLSS, which will basically improve everybody's frame rate quite markedly.
Isn't that only if you have an NVIDIA?
No, it's actually ATI have a similar technology, and they're just calling it that in the sim because that's what people know it as. But yeah, what it actually is a trick with the graphics card where they've dumbed it down in the interface, but what it essentially does is turns the resolution down, but turns the anti-aliasing up to cover it up. So the sim renders at a lower resolution. And then in hardware on the graphics card, it upscales it automatically. Yeah? So the computer's drawing less, but it looks the same to an average person.
No, this is the VHS Betamax argument, I'm afraid.
It is.
Right, good luck landing on that one.
Just approaching now. And I'm going to circle to get my approach right.
And I saw earlier that the NVIDIA 4 Series graphics cards are supposedly due out towards the end of this year, which will be interesting.
Whiskey Delta,
Yeah,
right?
as long as you've got a mortgage to buy one.
Euro Patillas.
Well, I'm guessing the Bitcoin miners are probably... That whole fad has had its day, hasn't it?
Hope so.
Because most of the big Bitcoins have been mined already. It's like law of diminishing returns with that kind of thing.
Price of electricity?
Yeah.
And also, they're not worth quite as much as they used to be.
No, there was a huge crash a little while ago, wasn't there?
500. Ha ha ha.
The load of them in a rubbish tip somewhere, and the guy's trying to dig it out. He accidentally threw away a hard drive with 80,000 bitcoins on it or something.
Something like
that. Actually got me wheels on the runway there.
So did I. I'm just struggling to get over the trees at the far end.
The trees, it's at both ends.
I'm
If you hit the runway
stall
hard, you
limit.
bounce.
I think I kind of got leaves in the wheels somehow.
Oh, you're joking.
I did say the next few airfields were dangerous.
Don't tell me you couldn't do that in the Airbus, Joe.
It was terrible.
He's got no show.
Killer Kodiak manoeuvre. Oh, my throttles are not working, that's why.
Spin around. Watch everybody else.
Not going near it.
Multi-screen will be fun though.
It will, yes. The major thing coming, apart from the LSS in version 10 is multi-screen. So Flight Sim will support multiple monitors properly. So for example, if you wanted to be a 737 and you had 4 screens, you could offset the angle of each screen and make it look like you're looking out the windows.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do that now.
Just for information, I didn't have any problems doing a touch and go at that airport.
Show off.
Same here.
Yeah,
Same
but
here.
Jim, you can do a touch and go in anybody's back garden, though, Jim.
Yeah, I understand that, but you know, I mean, hey.
I'll drink to that.
Okay, so Santa Isabel is next. I think the dangerous one we saw was Adjuntas, which is PR20, which is a couple of airfields further on, which was just laughable.
Second to last, isn't it, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Up in the hills.
Yeah, the second to last one was the really hilarious one.
Is that PR20?
Yeah.
Did you have any troubles at that airport, Mark?
Not a bit.
I don't know what everyone's complaining about.
Nope, just did the right pattern into the wind, and everything was fine.
And what helicopter are you flying?
A PA-28.
I did it fine as a spit.
Be really interesting to see where the rotor is with that one.
It's out front. It's vertically mounted.
It's quite amusing watching the live stream comments because we get about after an hour in of live streaming, usually you get a load of porn robots turn up, and I've got a robot that fights the porn robots that removes their messages.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I deleted one of them on Facebook the other day. Oh, sorry, it might have been on Discord.
Yeah, I got rid of one from Discord the other day as well.
It's really annoying, isn't it? The frustrating thing with YouTube is you would think Google would have used machine learning to have stopped them, but they haven't.
Probably because they make money out of them.
I guess.
Spam seems to be a solved issue though, doesn't it?
Sorry?
Spam email seems to be a solved issue though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss my Nigerian emails.
Maybe because YouTube is actually quite niche, then it's not a big enough problem to be worth solving, if that makes sense.
I would say if they don't get reported.
Yeah.
Are you feeling all right tonight, Patrick?
Yes, why do you ask?
Because you haven't buzzed me once.
It must have been Mark that I buzzed in.
You're picking on me.
Yeah, I'm picking on...
I don't have a problem with that. Keep going.
So Santa Isabel, we're going to have to go in runway 10 for the wind, I'm afraid. So you have to fly the length of the runway and come in on a circuit.
I'll just do a hop in.
5 knot tailwind. 080 10 knots on the ground. So yeah, you have to go in runway 10. If you have live weather.
God, I love this helicopter.
Good, isn't it?
Is that
Who got me on this?
Is that the 135, Jim?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you've got your head around all the different modes in the cockpit and stuff then?
Yeah, absolutely. Going from cold and dark and everything.
Very good. You can write the instructions for it then.
I don't need to. There's plenty on YouTube.
Isn't it the 145, not the 135?
No, it's the 135. The 145 is the Bayware.
Right, okay, so you're using the 135. Okay.
Yeah, and I haven't actually managed to find out what the difference is to justify paying for it.
The 145 is more complicated and easier to fly.
Yeah,
the latest versions have gotten pretty tough, though. They changed the flight model a bit.
I think the Bell 47's the hardest.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that. I can't fly that yet.
Yeah, it's an old manual helicopter, isn't it? And it's got an external flight model that's a very accurate one.
Yeah, it's the pedals that get me. In bicycle pedals to keep it going.
So this place I'm just flying over looks like a dragster track.
No, it's an ex-old deserted airfield.
It's a dragster track. There's
Well,
a finish
yeah.
line.
It may be now.
Yeah, yes, I know what you mean. And it looks like it's got a go-kart track at the far end as well.
Okay, here's a question. I've got Spits, right? Should I see those in Spits? Should I see a Spitfire?
Yes.
If you have
Or
the
do I,
same
or
livery.
do I, or do I
Which
have
one do you have?
Or do I have to be flying them?
It depends
No,
if you've got the
you have to
multiplayer
own it.
modelling on it as well.
Oh, something from the scouting I did of this airfield. If you're doing the circuit to come in runway 10, do a right circuit, because there's a wind farm in your way for the left circuit.
Okay, right
Oh,
circuit
thanks for
off
that,
the
Jonathan.
water.
I was going to head off for a left circuit.
So yeah, you need to go out over the water and turn in.
Okay.
So what version of the Spits are you flying?
I've got.
There's a flying iron, isn't there?
Yeah, I've got that.
Well,
Yeah,
I've
well,
seen
if
you
you-
spit before, Jim.
I think if you've got the flying iron installed, you'll see anybody that's flying one.
There is another manufacturer though, isn't there?
The only thing I did, Jim, was I used dev mode to change into it before I joined the session.
Airplane Evan is the other name.
You're using dev mode to swap aircraft may cause issues with
Yeah,
other people
because
seeing yours.
Right, because it looks like a PA-28 or something.
That's right.
That's really spoiling my fun, Patrick.
Sorry. Well, can you see Jason in his?
I don't think he's buzzed me yet. I don't think he's been anywhere near me today, which is quite unusual in itself. I must have a big target on my back or something.
You're a helicopter, you tend to stay still.
No, we move. I'm doing 162 miles knots at the moment.
Somebody on the live stream has told us it's Salinas drag race track.
You do attract some knowledgeable people on your live streams, don't you?
We do.
And people from everywhere. It's brilliant.
It's great fun. I will reiterate though, if anybody wants to create their own events, please do so. And if you need to do it on a different time than we are flying, this goes to anyone that's watching on YouTube as well. And yeah, take advantage of the community to make events at other times. Because yeah, don't think this is just the event we do. Anybody can make an event.
That's very democratic of you.
Well,
I know.
the whole idea
I
was to
noticed
make a
it.
community that, you know, that so everybody can find people to fly with. And the events kind of snowballed.
It's working.
Yeah, I noticed that our friends in Australia have difficulty joining us because they're just in a very, very difficult time zone.
Exactly.
It's all right for me. It's early morning and it's not too bad. But
Yeah. There's a Dutch guy that lives in Australia that has been wanting to join us for a long time.
Ronnie, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've reached out to him and said, "Hey, let's do one together."
I don't think he's an earlier riser as you are there, Ellis.
A couple of hours behind us.
Yeah, but you're in tomorrow.
Well, it's
Sorry,
all right.
but it doesn't right for
I
them.
can give you the lottery numbers, so be grateful.
Yeah, about that, Ellis. Yeah, I want my money back.
Sorry,
Yeah.
no refunds.
But you must be raking it in.
Yeah, I'm on 10% commission.
Blimey, Jonathan, you should learn from this man.
I should. Oh, crikey, how did that plane miss that building? Somebody just
I was buzzing somebody on the ground.
Oh, that's handy. I was just about to put my wheels down, but they're already down. I hadn't put them up.
I'm in a caravan. I don't have to worry about that.
Does it tow well?
Yeah, pretty good actually.
That was a good one. I like that. So, how many people are coming in still? So on to Nurse.
There's still guys coming in the wrong way. I just had a head on with somebody there.
It was me. I'll just fly wherever I want. It's only a game.
I know we can get away with it, eh? It's
A
good.
bit like cricket.
No, it's not cricket. It's not like cricket. Cricket hurts.
It's only a game.
But if you watch those footballers, football hurts.
So, Mercedita. What's the second? Yeah. What's the wind doing, Mercedita? 08010 knots, so it's runway 12 at the next airfield.
It's a very long runway.
You reckon you can get away with it?
I did.
I can see it from here, it's a huge runway. Okay, downwind landings, here we go. I once tried to land a radio-controlled glider downwind at White Horse Hill in Oxfordshire. The last I saw of it was as it flipped upside down in the far distance, and it still hadn't landed. Thankfully there were only sheep the other side of the hill.
I saw you spit, Jason.
The other sheep will never believe him when they tell him the story.
Reminds me of Pedro the boat builder. But it's not family friendly.
When I stop the stream you can tell everybody the story.
Oh, now I'm being buzzed all over the place.
Oh, that's not me.
Me and my big mouth. No, it's not you, Patrick. It is somebody called Pilot Jason or something.
He's not on Discord, is he?
Yeah, he was the one that buzzed me too.
No, that was me.
Was that you? Oh, well, he buzzed me too. Keep my mouth shut and people leave you alone.
Pilot Jason's on the Discord, but not with his mic turned off.
I just cut the throttle to slow down and then remembered I've got a 10 knot tailwind and it's not really slowing down in a hurry.
Well, that touching right off I did earlier is because I had masses of up trim on because I was flying so slow.
Oh, just run out of fuel.
You had a 5-minute stop, for Pete's sake. You should have got some then.
I never give it a thought. I was too busy getting another beer.
He didn't need it then.
I'm full up now. It's all right. I called a tanker aircraft in to fill me up. That'd make a good add-on, wouldn't it?
What's that?
Tanker aircraft.
Used to be one.
Well, that actually worked.
I don't know if it worked or not, but you had to. The VC-10 that David Maltby had.
That was a great aircraft.
The ones that Just Flight Airplane Heaven did, they had fuelers, but you try and line up with them, and it was almost impossible.
In that stage, Dave, you didn't have a good connection, did you?
Well, perhaps not. I tried all one night with Ian. He had the same airplanes. We tried all night trying to get equal speed. You know, flying in the same direction was easy enough, but it was getting the speeds right.
I've heard more than one military pilot say that air-to-air refueling is just about the hardest thing you can do.
That and carrier landing.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Oh, that's fun, crashing off the end of an aircraft carrier.
In a simulator, yeah.
The one thing none of the simulators seem to do is have the carrier deck going up and down.
There was a Merlin simulator. It was only a short game. All you could do is land a Merlin on the back of a frigate. And that used to go up and down. What was it called?
So 326 degrees, 15 miles to Adjuntas, which is the one way you might choose to just watch the mayhem.
Like,
is that the last one?
Second to last.
Second to last.
Yeah, it's not very far.
We're picking greenery out of your undercarriage.
Yeah, you have to come in from the western side to have any chance, I think.
Go through the gap in the trees.
Yeah, there's a gap in the trees on the southwest side of the airfield. Not a very big gap.
Someone's flown this before then already, Ellis.
Not saying.
And you called me a cheat for doing it the other day.
No, I watched Jonathan on his live stream on his checkout the other day.
Yeah, it was good fun.
He did well, wasn't it?
That's just the same.
I think I was using the caravans, or was I? I can't remember.
414.
Oh, that was it, yeah. That's a big heavy lump, isn't it?
Yeah, you did well though, I'll give you that.
Brick.
He dumped it down and bounced off and got over the trees at the
Well,
end.
I think that was the one where the wheel got within maybe 6 inches of the tarmac, or one of the wheels did.
Good luck, everybody.
Nice knowing you. No, it's worth having a circle around Adjuntas to try and kind of get your strategy of how you're going to have a go at it.
It's right on top of the hill and it's 2,340 feet.
Yep. And there's only one gap in the trees to get in there. You could do it in a Savage Cup quite easily, I think.
What about an H135?
Oh, yeah.
It depends how good the pilot is, of course.
Is this where Joe appears with his 737 and says, "Hold my pipe"?
That's where me and Pat do at 737-400.
Joe and I started off with 737-400s in Austria in little airfields. In the days of dial-up.
Yeah, you were looking half dial. I had 2 bits of string.
Yeah. And they were holding your pants up.
True.
It is amazing how far computers have come in a relatively short amount of time, isn't it?
Well, the flight sim is amazing since they launched this one.
Yeah.
Pentiums.
Some nice mist, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just hoping this next airfield isn't going to be in the cloud.
Well, I'm climbing. Well, I'm at 3,400. I just missed some trees.
Now I'm 3.8 and I'm in third.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I think you need to be about 4.5 to clear.
Are there many people flying in VR in this group?
Yep, I am.
That's 4 so far.
Yeah, I fly with a G2.
Oh, 7G2.
I use the poor man's version, the Toby.
It always strikes me as being much more immersive and realistic to be able to just look around as you do in the real world.
I'm terrible landing on flat screen. Mind you, I'm terrible landing in VR as well.
Well, you've got a point. I think it is easier landing in VR, actually.
It is.
Yeah, so much, yeah.
You look over your shoulder so easily and judge the turn-in.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about getting it, but I've heard or read a lot of people that fly things like the A320, 737. They say it doesn't really work well in the big aircraft.
Well, I only fly little aircraft anyway, so I wouldn't know about that one.
I don't know how you'd manage all the controls and things in the cockpit.
Well, I've just got myself a head tracker because I thought it would be a good compromise because I've got the honeycomb setup, yoke and the Bravo quadrant, and I think with VR, from what I read, is you can't see your controls. So if you like sort of that immersion of being able to operate your throttle quadrant and all the rest of it, I tell you what, I'm very happy with this head tracker I've got. It's settling down now and I'm figuring out how to use it, and it's very good.
You just get used to feeling for everything. It's really not bad.
Yeah, you develop a muscle memory, sort of where everything is.
It's quite realistic and it's so smooth compared, looking at a lot of the reports that I've read from people on head tracking. But this one that Roger Grass Monkey's come up with is, very good.
Is it a solid
really
piece of kit? Because I had one before and it fell to pieces.
Oh, this one is so solidly built, Jim. It's all done with, what do they call it? Printing, 3D printing. And it's wireless. You don't have any wires coming off your headphones because it's just got a single AA battery in it. And it'll last 50 hours on one battery.
Which runway are people going for?
I'm going to come in from the southwest side, so where the gap in the trees are to one side of it.
31.
Yeah.
I did it the other way. It was a piece of cake.
I'm in the lead, so I'm going to use 26.
Mind you, VR has improved that much in this sim since it first came out.
Yes.
It was awful when it first came on the scene, but
it's really good now, I have to say. I mean, I'm looking around now, it's just like as if you're doing it for real. It really is.
So they're streaming the landings if you want to see the carnage.
I expect the Trilander would have done this quite easily. I'm just watching the Trilander climb out.
Captain goes easy enough. I don't think I'd go to a full stop there. Flames coming out of my exhaust, but only on one side.
Who's got a dog in their plane?
Is it Assistant Phil? Your mic is constantly open.
I can hear a dog. Someone's got a dog in a plane.
How can that be? I thought it was a push to talk thing.
I thought it was push to talk.
Did we disable it at some point?
I don't know.
I will go and check.
No, I think the control button must have stuck or something. That's really weird.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't indulge anything personal.
Oh, you did.
I was just listening in.
Somebody managed to do a full stop. That was impressive.
You didn't have the runway.
Caravan. Reverse thrust.
Use it.
Reverse pitch.
Final leg, 258 degrees, 24 miles to...
If you go in steep enough, you can stop in no distance at all.
Yeah, but then you need a shovel to get the plane back out.
No, you need a bag to put the bits in.
Yeah, co-op bag.
That's the modelling days, isn't it? RC.
Yeah.
My live weather starting to look very moody.
I watched a RC airplane crash the other day, and I guess there was 20,000 quid's worth went into the ground.
Oh my word.
It's 4-engine jet, real jets.
Any survivors?
Well, I think the
His bank balance was
yeah, the owner of it nearly died, I think.
Little Barbie doll running around with her hair on fire.
I guess it ain't really funny, but you cannot help laughing, can you? You know, when you see it.
That's part of a guy in Germany who builds phenomenal airliners, RC airliners. And he's in the middle of doing a 380. I know there's more than one. But he did a 350, and that had a slight crash. I'm trying to think how much that cost. He had. I think he gets a lot of sponsorship.
Yeah, my other friend, Jonathan's brother, he's heavily into RC. He's good at it as well, isn't he, Joe?
Yeah.
He does articles for magazines as well. And yet, he don't like going in a real airplane.
My youngest son is petrified of going in aircraft. He's been in so many, but can't bear it.
You just need to tell them that you're not the pilot pattern. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I've told him to go on a what do you call it? Trial lesson.
Yeah.
So he gets to feel it, and he knows what's happening, why it's happening.
Somebody else did a full stop. Went back and had a second go, Jonathan. Managed to do a full stop, so I might be a little bit late.
It's fine.
It's raining now.
I was going to say, if I wind the clock to live on the time.
Afternoon.
Yeah. Those fluffy clouds are just the right height, aren't they?
Come in low. Just about touch. Always bloody building in the way. Oh, nice long runway anyway.
There's a guy on the live stream. His name appears next to his message. His name's Brad. Brad Bellick, and he's just said, "Hi, I'm Brad Bellick." That's his message.
And now you're dissing him online
Well,
for doing it.
It's just, it reminds me of, is it the Anchorman guy? That it's just makes me laugh.
Roger.
Yeah, oh no, not that one again.
Can you give me a vector, Victor?
What's out of clearance, Clarence?
Oh dear.
This is Captain Over.
His co-pilot is out.
I got a gardener called Moses Lawn.
Old jokes are the best.
They usually come from very old people.
Moses Lawn. That's great.
Trying to find somewhere to park. This grass is terribly long.
Moses Lawn required.
I found the fuel box, so I just parked by it.
Just run a bloke over.
If you're landing from the east, yet again, there's a massive tree right in the way of the runway.
And a building.
Yeah, the airfield's about to get very, very busy.
Right, engine off.
I think there's almost no wind, isn't there, on the ground? Oh no, 13 knots, 070. Okay, so I'm going to fly to the other end and come in.
08 approach, is it not?
Looks like it.
Should be, yeah. 13 knots, you say?
Yep.
There's some massive CBs around.
They're radio hams, not CBs.
Say this part of the world, they probably rely on radio quite a lot for communication between the towns, don't they?
It's the radio masts.
It's all mobile phones.
I know I was listening to This Week in Tech, but it's Leo Laporte, the guy that does it in the US. He used to have several other podcasts. One of them was about radio, or ham radio in the US, and they were saying on there, with some of the natural disasters that have happened the last 20 years, there's been a real resurgence in ham radio and the skills required, and people taking an interest, because obviously it's the best fallback, because you can run it from a battery on a roof.
There's all sorts of stories about people being rescued because of ham radio.
Yeah.
operators.
I guess the story's slowly changing because of things like the Starlink system, but that's at enormous cost, whereas radio can be run on a very low cost.
2 years ago there was one in my immediate vicinity, now there's 4.
What's that, Starlinks?
No, ham radio.
Oh, ham radio masts, yeah.
Yeah, you can tell because they're bloody great long poles sticking up in their gardens.
Dad's was 120 foot high.
They used that for the lorries, didn't they?
Yeah, it had a aviation red light on the top.
Well, Northampton's pretty flat, so you don't have to go that high.
I was in a cottage a week and a half ago that had a Starlink connection for the internet. It was not, when it worked, it was great, but it was very intermittent.
Yeah, they're slowly filling in the patches, aren't they, in the sky where there aren't enough satellites for it to be consistent. I think the rocket that went up this week had another 70 satellites on it.
Wow. 70.
Yeah,
Jeez.
they're throwing them up 70 at a time on the Falcon 9s.
It was a great program on, it must have been in the middle of last year. And it was just showing you, one, how much junk is up there.
Yeah.
And two, how they're actually gathering that junk up.
Well, most of it will fall back in.
Yeah, but there is still so much up there. They're now having to go out and grab it and bring it back.
If that took 70 up, though, how do they deploy them? So they don't hit
Magic.
One at a time. One at a time.
They go up as a brick, basically, so the top bit of the rocket detaches, and they're released one at a time, and they've got very small motors to push them out to the appropriate spacing. It takes them weeks to get to the right place, because they've obviously only got a small amount of thrust, but they don't weigh much either.
Oh, they don't weigh nothing, do they?
Well, you know what I mean.
They
They haven't got
fuel
much
either.
mass.
No.
How big are they, Jonathan?
I don't actually know.
Sounds like they're quite small.
I think they might be like 6 or 7 feet long, maybe the satellites. They're not. I don't think they're that big.
So they're still sort of car size then.
Yeah. It's amazing though. You see those Falcon 9 rockets, and they don't look that big until you see a person next to one. They're the size of a 12-story building. That Starship is going to be amazing when they try and launch that.
I'm going to call it Enterprise. Oh, that helicopter ain't good at landing, is it, Jim?
That might have been me.
Oh, right.
It wasn't me, that's for sure.
My frame rate dropped to 4, so it's hard to coordinate.
This airfield's rapidly getting filled up. This is interesting. 5 coming in at once one end and 1 at the other.
The aircraft coming to the other end are outnumbered. And also downwind.
I'm going to come and watch the approaches.
Let's make touchdown. Oh, it's through.
There's a sort of banging sound in the background, like someone's making an IKEA furniture.
It's my exhaust, possibly. Oh, but you wouldn't hear that, would you?
It's this big end.
Might have been the Spitfire bouncing down the runway just now.
All right. I was hoping to get away with it being my engine. Oh, there's that.
Good one, Jim.
Sorry?
I said good one.
Oh, thank you.
That was a good flight, wasn't it?
Well, I'm running late.
I was going to say, we're just waiting for Ellis.
Yes, I'm the tail in Charlie. I mucked around at the last airfield.
you're in your
I
couple of
could have
hours
used the Y key, but
Of course, that does mean we're all going to watch you land, Ellis.
oh well, I better not stuff it up, eh? I'm not going to come in the other way. I'll come straight in.
Cool. Right, I'll bring the camera down that end then. Where's the camera speed? Drone speed.
It's like sitting a bloody flight test.
Oh, there you are.
Left a bit, right a bit.
It's 3 landing fees, please.
I'm going to take a picture of everybody on the ground. This is an amazing picture of everybody.
Is there a spot left for me down here somewhere?
Yeah, loads of space here on the grass.
Yeah, 100%. The photo would be better if I owned all these aircraft. Right now, it's a fleet of Bonanzas.
That was good fun.
Indeed.
Yes, it was. Thank you, Jonathan.
That's right.
Yeah, great flight, thanks.
I'm trying to think where we are next weekend. As I said, if anybody wants to make any events up whenever they want, just have a look at the events at the top of Discord and find a gap that fits with your time zone. And throw an invite out on the day of the event as well. Because obviously we have the advantage because we do this every Sunday. People expect there to be something there. But obviously you'll have to market it a little bit if you're putting a new event in that people aren't expecting.
Well, I'll just plug mine for the 4th of September Sunday. You need a float plane, and there's a challenge in it.
Hopefully the Kodiak float will be out there then.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, the Kodiak or the 172 is a good one for this. It's all about accuracy.
So next Sunday it's the Columbia River from Portland going east towards Richland in Oregon. So you could do that one, I guess, in float planes if you really wanted to.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I won't be around. I'm taking leave for a couple of weeks.
Well, I was just thinking, actually, next Sunday I will be at my dad's, so I'll be haranguing him as he attempts to do the flight.
I'll let you use the sim.
Right.
I'll watch.
And then the week after next is Los Nevados in Colombia. And then it's Jim's the week after that.
Yeah, the one in Colombia, you need a flamethrower plane to burn all the cocaine fields.
Well, thanks so much, guys, and have a good week, and see you again soon.
Yep, see you soon.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Yep.
See you.
Yeah.
Yep. Bye.
See you tomorrow, Mark.
Yep, sounds good.
Good night, whatever it is.
Yep, I'm going to
Good
stop.
night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Next